Good afternoon. You can do better than that. Good afternoon. I'm Jeff Catula, President of the Washington County Chamber of Commerce and Washington County Tourism Promotion Agency. It's my pleasure to be here this afternoon to talk about some big things that are happening in Washington County. Tourism in Washington County is a major industry. It's an over $700 million a year business and employs over 6,500 people within Washington County. However, many of our tourism assets, be it the Pennsylvania Trolley Museum or the Bradford House or others, are run locally by community volunteers and those that have a real interest in making sure that not only tourism, but our county succeeds. We want to make sure that we continue to invest in these assets, to continue to invest in our community. And it's my pleasure today to introduce a major announcement for not only Washington County, but for Pony Baseball. And I'd like to introduce, to make the announcement, Maureen Hester from Dick's Sporting Goods and Bob Gregg from the World Series Tournaments Inc. Please join us, me at the podium.
It's a tremendous pleasure to be here today. For 30 years, it's been my honor to serve as the head of a group of all volunteers who have run the Pony League World Series, which started in Washington, Pennsylvania in 1952, the first World Series event. Traveled after about 10 years in Washington, traveled a number of years until the early 80s. 1983, the World Series was held in Kennewick, Washington, and during that time, we campaigned hard to bring the World Series back to Washington, Pennsylvania, where it was born. We're glad to tell you that we've been able to do that through a lot of help over the years. Some of it volunteer assistance, people working concessions, souvenir, ground crew, gates, parking, etc., and some of it money. I share regularly on the field that there's nothing that we can't do with the Pony League World Series if we have money and people willing to work. And fortunately, we've been able to keep this event here from 1984 when it returned all the way through. Went through a couple of struggle years, shared with the county commissioners, with the tourism agency, the county chamber of commerce, and with our state representatives and folks from the city of Washington about those struggles, that the cost of hosting this event was growing and growing, and that we needed some assistance to make it stay here and to be able to grow the World Series. The tourism agency stepped up in a significant way to make sure that we were able to keep the World Series here. We ask a neat question of people in the Washington County area: does the Pony League World Series matter to you? If it does, there's three things you can do. You can support us financially. You can volunteer. You can come out to the games and show the world that the Pony League World Series matters. And that year, in tremendous ways, all three of those things happened. Doors opened for us to be able to televise last year's championship game that expanded the reach of the event, but also an opportunity to showcase Washington County. And that brings us to where we are here today. It is my great pleasure to say thank you to Maureen Hester and the entire team, because now in a multi-year agreement, our event will be known as the Dick's Sporting Goods Pony League World Series. And I can't begin to tell you how much that means. It's a huge statement to tell you that the World Series is solid, is growing, and is going to be in Washington, Pennsylvania, Washington County, the home of Pony Baseball. Maureen, thank you.
Thank you. You know, at Dick's Sporting Goods, we really believe that sports matter. And we truly believe that sports make people better. And so it is our great pleasure to be able to support this incredible organization that's right here in our backyard. The overwhelming support that we see today is just a testament of what this event means to this area, and particularly Washington County. And we could not be more excited or more proud to be able to support this event and take it to that next level. So thank you guys.
We have a little gift for you. The graphic design folks at both Washington County and at Dick's Sporting Goods worked diligently in a very short period of time, and we're proud to introduce today our new World Series and Dick's Sporting Goods combined logo here as a gift for Dick's Sporting Goods, and also that you see there on the signboard, and you will see throughout the area during the next several years in this partnership. Thank you. Yes. There There are many facets to our agreement. Some of them are financial, as you can well imagine, and that's very important. There have also been offers to assist with volunteer hands. Our uniforms that you'll hear more about in just a few moments. That's something brand new to the Pony League World Series, something we've never been able to do before, and it's going to add really a neat touch to this year's event, and we're excited about that, and many other facets to this partnership that we are grateful to Dick's Sporting Goods and all of the pieces that they're going to assist us with as well. Thank you. Jeff, thank you.
Thank you.
Stand up here and wait for
Certainly. Washington County is pony baseball, and pony baseball is Washington County. We enjoy the tremendous support of not only the city of Washington, but the entire county in growing pony for future generations. And it's my pleasure to introduce Abe Key, the president of Pony Baseball and Softball. Abe?
From humble beginnings here in Washington, Pennsylvania in 1951 with 6 original teams of 13 and 14-year-old boys, Pony Baseball and Softball has grown to be an international leader in all baseball and girls softball. Currently, we have more than 500,000 annual participants on more than 30,000 teams throughout the United States and more than 30 foreign countries. The Pony League World Series was our first World Series in 1952, held at Washington High School football field and won by San Antonio, Texas. That very next year in 1953, thanks to the city of Washington, Lou Hayes Pony Field was built, and that has been the home of Pony League World Series for 54 of the last 64 years. So it's an honor for us from an international organization, also headquartered here in Washington, Pennsylvania, to be able to make this announcement today, thanks to Dick's Sporting Goods for being the title sponsor of the Pony League World Series, one of our 8 age group World Series in pony baseball and softball. So today also, it's an honor for us as part of this agreement to share with you that Dick's Sporting Goods will be outfitting all 10 teams at the Pony League World Series. Their partner Majestic and the Dick's team will be providing uniform socks, pants, and custom uniforms for each of the 10 teams participating. Currently, we have had 3 teams that have already qualified for the Pony League World Series. On my far left, your right, Mazatlan, Mexico has already qualified from Mexico. Their championships are over. In the center, Vienna, Austria will be representing Europe. They defeated a team from the Czech Republic to qualify for the Pony League World Series in April. And of course, Washington, Pennsylvania will be our host team. So we've already qualified 3 of the 10 teams. Also, you'll notice to my right, your left, we have the tournament bracket for this year's Dick's Sporting Goods Pony League World Series with those 3 teams already placed in order. 7 teams will be qualifying over the next 4 to 5 weeks to be slotted in as one of the participants in the 64th annual Pony League World Series. So again, our thanks to Dick's Sporting Goods for stepping up to the plate to sponsor the Pony League World Series. Thank you.
Several years ago, the Washington County Commissioners and the Washington County Tourism Promotion Agency approached Pony Baseball on how we can help to not only improve the World Series, but also take it to the next level. And all 3 of our commissioners, Commissioner Larry Maggi, Commissioner Diana Irie Vaughn, Commissioner Harlan Schober, again, using Abe Serb, stepped up to the plate to offer their assistance. And it's my pleasure to introduce Washington County Commissioner Diana Irie Vaughn. Commissioner.
Good afternoon. It truly is a great day in Washington County. We couldn't be more grateful that Washington County has been host to Pony Baseball and the Pony World Series. Chairman Larry Maggi couldn't be with us today, but he sends his best and his gratitude to Dick's Sporting Goods for your investment in Washington County and in Pony Baseball. When you think of sporting events, you think of an encouragement and a teaching of teamwork among the players. You think of physical fitness, which means wellness, and you think of entertainment. So bringing all of those components together is just a wonderful venue for Washington County to host. We want to thank Dick's Sporting Goods for sharing their energy with Washington County. We ask that God would bless the future events that we have, and Dick's for their generosity to all of Pony Baseball.
Commissioner Harlan Schober.
Everybody, is it exciting times? You know, as Bob Gregg said, over 30 years, people volunteering, putting their effort in from many, many sources, especially the team that has been working as the board, so to speak. But you know what? If you're not excited about what goes on in Washington County now, you never will be. Because, you know, people like Dick's stepping up to the plate, as was said, you know, to help keep the youth alive, to help keep the area, the tourism. It just, you know, this used to be the best kept secret in pony baseball, best kept secret. We knew it was here if you were local, but the rest of the world. And after last year with the social media and all the things that are represented here today with the support such as Dick's, you know, it's going to go far and people get to know that there's pony baseball and things are alive in this area. We thank Dick's for your support. Thank you.
As Commissioner Schober said, we don't want this to be a secret. We want this to be worldwide. And I'd like to invite back up Bob Gregg to go over our television and schedule with us this year. Bob?
Thank you, Jeff. Before I do that, there are some folks scattered among our crowd here wearing the royal blue trimmed in white jerseys. And I just want you to know that every year at the World Series, I talk regularly about the blue shirts. If you need something, if you have a question, if you need help, if you have to get somewhere, find one of the blue shirts. They are the board members of World Series Tournaments Incorporated, and the World Series would not be in Washington, Pennsylvania without the work that they do every single day. Somebody's working on the Pony League World Series. This doesn't happen. It used to be we could squeeze it out from April to August. No more. It's an event that really we've already made notes for next year's World Series. Trust me when I tell you, we've done that already. It's just that kind of an event. We talked about the outreach, the social media and those kind of pieces through a grant from the Tourism Grants Program in cooperation with the City of Washington and Comcast. We were able to upgrade the cable facilities at Lou Hayes Pony Field last year. That enabled us to offer Wi-Fi. It also enabled us to offer video streaming of every game of last year's Pony League World Series. I'm proud to tell you today that that's going to be enhanced. We're looking at either upgrading to HD for those video streams, possibly going to multi-camera presentation for those. We are once again happy to announce to you that Pittsburgh CW will be the home of the 2015 Dick's Sporting Goods Pony League World Series Championship game, Wednesday, August the 12th, in a live presentation. We're hoping that that will also, again, be provided to the world by ESPN3 as it was last year. A partnership with Waynesburg University and Washington and Jefferson College, we are able to provide that video stream. We have students from both of those institutions along with technical support from both of them. WJPA Radio, MSA Sports will again provide the audio feed for those broadcasts and for the radio-only broadcast. And as they have been at the World Series every year, every game since 1952, our friends at the Observer Reporter, one of our presenting sponsors this year, will have staff writers covering the games, tweeting and all those things that I have no idea what any of that means, but I know some of you do. Some of you are like me, like, what's that mean? We didn't want to be tweeting when we were kids. Jim, you get that, right? You understand? We didn't want to tweet when we were kids, but the Observer staff will be tweeting. Our Pony staff will also be providing updates. iScore, the official electronic scoring system of Pony Baseball, will be available for every single game as well. And all of that, I mean, you can see the size of partnership that is with all the different facets involved. It is truly all access for the Pony League World Series for those who are here and for those who can't be here for various reasons, whether it's they're stuck in East Washington or they're halfway around the world watching the games in Vienna, Austria. They'll be able to follow the 2015 Pony League World Series that way. Thank you.
In Washington County, we work as a team because efforts such as this take more than one individual. And I'd like to announce a few of our partners that are here with us today that are part of our great team to bring this and keep this in Washington County. I'd like to introduce from Senator Bartolotta's office, Will Thromeyer. Will, thank you for being with us. Gwen Rohde from Representative Ortitai's office. Gwen, thank you for being with us this afternoon. From Representative Brandon Newman's office, we have Amber Ross and Carla Mass. Thank you for being with us and for your support. And from the City of Washington, we have Councilman Joe Manning. Joe, thank you for being with us. From the Tourism Board of Directors, we have David Lamatris, Jim Lau, and of course our chairman, Mark Altarisi. Please join me in a round of applause for them. And from the Washington County Chamber of Commerce Board, we have Pat McCune from Community Bank. Thank you for being with us today. And I would like to call up our chairman of the Tourism Board, Mark Altarisi, for a few comments. Mark?
Thank you very much, Jeff. First of all, thank all of you for being here today. It truly is a great day in Washington County. First of all, I've already heard people say it, but I want to also thank Dick's Sporting Goods for being here, getting involved in this. They truly realize the importance of youth, not just in this county, but worldwide. This is truly a worldwide event. You've heard people say it before. People need to know how important it is, and Dick's truly gets it. Also, I can't say enough about Bob Gregg and the World Series Tournament Inc. board. It's a volunteer board. We have a lot of volunteer boards. These people put a lot of effort into it, and Bob said was correct. Last year, when it ended, and we had a great event, first thing Bob said is we had a great event, but there's a couple things we want to tweak for next year. Went with it, and went along with that, and that's how they start building. So when people think, oh, it's only a week-long event, no, these volunteers give a lot of their time, give up a lot of their family time, and they truly need to be appreciated. So thank you all for being here, and hope to see you at the World Series. Let's play ball.
Thanks, Mark. I would also be remiss if I didn't introduce Scott Fergus. Scott's also on our tourism board and also a wonderful liaison for us between the tourism board and the county commissioner. Scott, thank you for being with us today as well. And before we end, I'd really like to thank John Switek, who has done a terrific job of representing tourism, working with Pony, working with the Pony League World Series, and really being a catalyst for this growth. John, thank you, and we couldn't have did it without you. We appreciate it. So again, please join us for the Pony League World Series presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. Thank you so much for being with us this afternoon. And I know many of our speakers today will be available for comments and interviews afterwards. Thank you so much for your time, and let's play ball. Take care.